Buddy. We back at this. We're doing this again. Let's get this started all correctly and properly. What's happening, everybody? We're back at it again after dark. Coming on a little late this wonderful evening. I already got somebody here with us, Mister Filthy Phil. How you doing, sir?
Another day in paradise, Rich. You know how it is.
Right.
Could sit here and talk about Raider football, getting closer to the draft. I know that me and Jones haven't got down on a show in a while, but honest and truthfully, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to people and or repeat myself and speculate about the same things and say the same things I've already said time and time again.
Right. Just come on, kind of I'm not gonna say it's everybody, but this is just
I
it's
respect
just out
people.
there.
Yeah, I respect people. I
Respectfully.
respect people who come out here and consistently put on content
Uh,
because it's not easy to do when there's nothing to talk about. That's when it's the hardest to do.
Bro, you see me, I took off for what, a month? You mean because shit, it was just dead. It was over with. You mean?
Yeah. I
It was just
mean, anything that's at this point, I'm not gonna quite call anything that comes out of anybody's mouth bullshit. But I mean, nobody knows what the fuck is going on.
and
But we're
everything is complete
starting.
driving season, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead, I'm
So
sorry.
I was like, but we're starting to get down to the nit and the grit, and things are starting to take shape.
Right. Exactly. And I think was it today we had a pro day Boulder, right?
This week,
Was it? Okay, I know it was within the last couple of days we had a pro day there in Boulder, Colorado, and we got to see Shador Sanders.
what'd you think about that?
I, I I keep hearing that his arm is weak, bro. And I didn't see it, bro. You know what I mean? And I've watched games with him. I mean, I've seen him chuck the ball down the field. I, there's a lot of things I liked, and I understand. It's in underwear, but he did some things that I don't see pros doing. Like when he ran his play action, he turned his back to what would be the defense, and I would like to see if that happens in real life, though. You know what I mean? Like,
Ooh,
you know what I mean? That
did
that's
that excite you a little bit?
it did because I've sat here and said, why did my quarterback turn his back to the defense?
Would never.
Why
I would never.
doesn't play action work for my team? You know what I'm saying?
Because nobody's willing to do the basics of what it takes. One of the things that Peyton Manning was best at was the stretch play action fake.
Exactly.
He would leave his hand out there so long that you had no choice but to respect it. And I mean, he would pull it at the absolute last of last seconds.
And every step, everybody had to respect it because of every step, every nuance. I mean, god damn, dude. Everything he did was exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
There was
The
no,
way it's supposed to be.
I remember back in the early 2000s, I used to show um, Jerry Rice and Tim Brown, and no matter which route they ran, they every route started the same. The first 3-4 steps was all the same. You mean they broke you down after the third or fourth step, and he was doing that as a quarterback. Uh, Peyton Manning is truly one of the best ever. You mean, and that's one of the things I respect about him until he came to the Broncos, and then I was kind of like fuck him. But you mean, just I always have a lot of respect for him, and seeing that out of a young quarterback like Shador, it really, really was like, wow. I mean, like that. I mean, well, Pops is a 1%er. I mean, and I'm pretty sure those were things that he was, hey, this is what you got to work on. This is what you need to do. This is what you got to look good at, because this is what people are going to be looking at. Especially as a first ballot Hall of Famer to, defender. You know, he was able to, embark on his son, what he needs to do as a quarterback. And I really liked it. I really did. I didn't see a bad throw. Did you?
No, there was one that was to the sideline that was a little high and should have been brought down. Now, if you want to split hairs, there were a few that were behind the receiver when we're running the Underwear Olympics against air.
Mm-hmm.
That shouldn't be happening. But regardless, even in his mistakes, he still threw a highly catchable ball. And one of the things that we really need to look at, and is the thing that apparently is a real issue in with the Chargers, is that Justin Herbert doesn't throw a very catchable ball because whoever it is that's over there as a wide receiver, no matter where he's hitting them, just can't hang on to the ball.
Hey, bro, all his receivers got the yips. Let's be honest, because we've sat back and said, dude, they'll never win a Super Bowl. They said, why?
Never.
Because their receivers can't catch.
Nope.
That's fucking hilarious, dude. I, but at the same time, I think they're at Colorado. They had a pretty legit lineup of receivers there. They were able to surround Shador with good receivers. Excuse me, and I would like to see that continue in the NFL for
As
him,
would I, as long as they're with Raiders.
right? I mean, and here's the funny fact. Like, I think I was talking with somebody not too long ago, and we both uh we all sat there and we said, you know what? My biggest thing is I want to see GNT and Shador there at 6 and see what the fuck the Raiders do, bro. I mean, seriously, I want to know. I want to know what they would do because I know what I would do.
That's a situation right there for them. That's an easy one for me.
That's an
Now,
easy one
but
for me.
but what I will say though, that is something that as I've looked at this, and because sometimes you just got to be overly practical just to be overly practical, because in this line of work, that's what you do.
Right.
Said it. I'm not cool with the idea of benching my first rounder with as many holes in the roster that I need filled.
Mm-hmm.
That's not. I get it. We have Gino, and I'm happy that it would offer Shador a chance to sit and get better, learn and get better, be ready when he finally takes over.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, there's some pieces that could be drafted that would s- really put us in the right on the right path, that are going to be bypassed because of storing a pick, stashing a pick, we'll call it.
Okay. I mean, cause like I I understand that, but a lot of the positions we need, this draft is very deep at. I mean, running back. I mean, I think we got a running bet about Woody Marks. You mean either going 6th round or undrafted, right?
Something like that.
You mean so? Like, honestly, Woody Marks is a second, third rounder. Any other draft with this one? Who knows? You mean who knows? It can go anywhere at this point. You mean? But I think there's like 35 draftable running backs in this draft, dude. The NFL is about to be flooded with running.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, unfortunately, the vets are gonna be the vets. But I think after this year, that if you produce, you'll get paid.
right,
I think that's more of the way that it's going to be.
right.
But but if you're a fringe guy or a mid tier running back, you don't expect to cash out.
Hey, bro, you might be out the NFL, bro. With 35 guys, that means every team in the NFL should get one. You mean just an extra guy? Wow. You mean, and honestly, I think the Raiders could use a really hard reset at the running back position. I mean, literally, Lobby out. Uh,
Oh, I'm
fucking,
getting rid of everybody.
you mean yeah, yeah. I mean, other than Mostert, because he he's the only one with the a new contract, bro. Give me all rooks. I'm happy with that.
Oh yeah. Oh,
I'm happy with
no,
that.
no doubt. Like give me brand new, fresh legs. Said,
Right?
but that circles back to what I was saying about taking Shador at 6. I'm all for it. Don't get me wrong. And if he's there at 6, that's a no brainer. Like you said, there's far too many running backs, and you can pick them. And even if you're willing to wait for Woody, I would still be able to go and get any number of my running backs in the second round. You
Bro,
could get Hampton. You could get Hampton if he's still there. You could
Judkins.
get Judkins. You could get Henderson. You could get practically everybody but Genty.
Yeah. But okay, so let me ask you a question. Because listening to people and people like to talk and say this and this and that. Um, from what I'm hearing is people are interested in Genty from other teams. How much does it cost for the Raiders to trade back in that same position?
It's got to cost. It's got to be a first. It's got to be a first swap and at least a second and a fourth. I would prefer a second and a third, but it's certainly got to be a pick swap at one, a two and a three or a four. Three would be
Right.
ideal. Four would be probably fair.
Right. Okay. Honestly, because if I can say move to 10, pick up an extra second, bro, we're in business, bro. Like seriously, you can get a receiver, uh, or you can get a guard, a running back in the third round, get another running back. I mean, shit, you can even get a linebacker in the second round. You know what I mean? Like, these are wild things, wild
A
times. You
real one, like a big
know,
stallion.
right? Like a good linebacker, one will be there for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Like, this would, I mean, dude, if you could trade back, pick up a linebacker, pick up a running back, bro, I would just be ecstatic. I'd be ecstatic. I would know that the front office, this is the right front office, this is the right um people up front, and I just can't believe that Pete Carroll's not going to draft at that position. This is the guy who found Bobby Wagner. This dude. I mean, when he was over there in New England, he had Brewski and all these cats. You know, uh, Pete Carroll is about linebackers. I mean, even when he left SC, he had some badass linebackers there. You mean like this dude loves linebackers. I understand he's the old secondary coach, but he really likes linebackers.
He's an old ball coach.
You mean so? You know, I'm excited to see what he can do with our team, and moving forward, and maybe we don't have positions that are just kind of like. I mean, let's face it. Like the linebacker position has always been left. Um, I mean, the highest drafted guy we've had lately was what, Divine Diablo? No,
Oh,
Tanner Muse. Tanner Muse, a player who never put on, never, not one time
Bennett.
put on our uniform.
Bennett.
Not one time. I hear you, mamas. You know, Tanner Muse. I didn't Mayock say if you got 3 third round draft picks, you're stealing.
Stealing. Stealing money.
Okay. when, when that happened, please let me know because I didn't see it. I didn't see it at all. I mean,
Well, it is supposed to be stealing money with 3/3 because I can do a lot with 3/3.
bro, because I think me and you were talking about let's package 2 of them. Let's go get that kid out of Oklahoma, right?
I don't know about that one, but
I, I was because I wanted Jalen Hurts. I was like, you can trade 2 of them
oh yeah, yeah,
straight
yeah,
up
yeah,
to Jalen
yeah.
Hurts because he got some dog in him.
Mm,
Now he's Super
I
Bowl
see it,
MVP. You know what I mean?
and that's what has me looking at Milrow differently because I'm like I see a lot of his game in Milrow too. They have a lot of similarities.
Okay, I haven't paid a lot of attention to Milrow. Do you see Milrow kind of more like Hurts at Alabama or Hurts at Oklahoma?
Alabama.
Okay, because if I seen, because I liked him at Oklahoma, you can tell
I
that
do
it
too.
he was a totally different cat there.
Yeah, they were doing so. That's what was crazy because I would have felt like at Bama he was getting the best QB coaching around, but when he got to Oklahoma, there was a huge improvement, a huge difference,
Right. Um.
and Milrow has all the arm strength in the world, and if you could hone it and get it to be accurate and consistent, the sky would be the limit for him throwing the football, let
Right.
alone taking off and running with it. Because when he takes off and runs with the ball, he's special.
Yes, he is. But we all know too that I mean, they're like Anthony Richardson. Uh, we all we talked about him. At least you can run zone read with him, right? And is he that type of quarterback right now? Is he a guy who's going to be? Because I don't see him. I don't see Milrow lasting till the 3rd round. He's going to be picked in the 2nd round, no matter what.
I agree with you.
Um,
I would not expect. I would take him in the second because I wouldn't expect him to be around in the third.
no, not whatsoever. Um, I think Richardson still needs a little bit more. Also, too, I thought, isn't that Shane Steichen over there, the head coach?
Mm-hmm.
I thought Shane Steichen would have did a little bit more to help him too, because the offensive runner is not very friendly for him. But at the same time, these guys, you can run Zoe Reed with them. You can run that old, Colin Kaepernick game, and no matter what, athleticism is athleticism, dude. You gotta run this guy down. You gotta chase him. You know, natural instincts take over. You know, very well. I mean, so, uh, yeah, there, there is a world where I see Jalen Milrow as a guy, but to be honest, I'm just kind of at a point now in my fandom. Being a Raider fan, for so long, dude. Like, give me a fucking 1st round quarterback. Dude, just one. You just one. You mean I ain't had one since sipping on some scissor was drafted number 1 overall, dog. You mean just give me a quarterback, dog. You mean
Don't be scared. Don't be afraid. Just do it.
you know
and they're gonna have an opportunity to do this, and that'll be this organization's swing for the fences, and like whatever happens after whatever, whether it turns out good or it does or it goes belly up, you can't get better if you don't swing the bat. And they would, in the end, it would have just as bad, good or bad as it may seem. It's only one draft pick,
Right. Right.
and
And
that's what's most important is that it's only one draft pick.
yeah. And a lot of Raider Nation needs to also understand that too, because I kind of hear a lot of people try to be like JT the Brick, like honestly, dude. With all respect to JT the Brick, dog, like all respect, dude. I'm not trying to have personal beef or anything with him, bro. But a lot of shit he says is just kind of off kilter, bro. You don't set your franchise back 5 years if you draft a quarterback and he's not the guy.
Nope,
You don't.
not if you don't trade up for him.
Okay. If you trade
If
up from him, set your franchise back a year.
couple,
Okay. I mean, but at the same time, dude, if he's your guy, go get him. If he's your guy, go get him. Make it work.
absolutely.
Make it work. Put in the investment and make sure. But you also got to make sure it's a guy who wants to invest his time there and be that guy. You mean because I mean everybody, oh Jamarcus, and I'm like, fucking, that's so long ago. Like, are you fucking serious? And then you talk to like Stu, and Stu's got like a gang of stories. Like, dude, then the timing of him coming out and everything. There was way more to it. He wasn't just a bust.
Yeah,
But
he
at the same time, like, I'm sorry, saying NFL is not for long. You mean like, and
he understands the business side of it, and it's Stu's just reiterated what I've heard from a lot of other people, a lot of other people who know and who've been told things. Because what that man had to go through is everybody says, oh, you're getting paid this, you're getting paid that, but some things is worth more than money.
yes, sir.
Some things matter more than money, and if your uncle who was your dad just suddenly up and is no longer with you, and that's been your absolute best friend in the whole world, you're not just gonna shrug that off.
No, you are not. You know,
Because you got pre-game routines, pre-game rituals, after-game breakdowns, practice stuff, all of that shit you've been doing your whole life, that just has come to a crashing halt.
exactly. Hey, but also too, you got to shout out, Stu Schwager for being what, a teammate through and through.
Yeah, a real.
Shut the
Hey,
basket drop.
Stu is solid as they come, bro. Because you think he's still talking about Charles Rogers.
Damn. That's right. That's right. hmm And, and,
Yeah.
and, and, and it's funny because every once in a while I watch one of the shows and he be like, "Oh, I talked to Namdi," and it's like, and you can see in his face like he's happy because he got to talk to one of his boys. You mean that one of the guys he sat there, and ran through a wall with. You mean, and
Hmm.
that's cool, man. That's cool, and I really love how Stu is still part of it, and he shares it with us. And that's cool, man. Shout out Stu Schweiger, man, a real one.
Love that guy. Stu is the best, and I absolutely mean it.
Yeah,
Could could not find a nicer guy.
yeah, right. Uh, well, anyways, all right. So we talking about the draft.
Hmm.
We already talked about uh running backs because we all know we have the 31st uh the 31st run game in the NFL, right? So we're gonna need a couple of these cats this year. I want to ask you what position right now if it came across the ticker and it said that position, it would piss you off to no end.
Center.
Center? Okay.
Because they run. There's been talks that I'm not even going to say talks. I've heard and mentioned how true it is. Shit happens all the time. It's OT. We'll see. Is that they like to keep JPJ at guard,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is a horrible idea.
Right.
But I'm not the coach.
Okay. But I think guard pays a little bit more too, right? The center,
He's
right?
on a.
I get that he's a natural center. Cause didn't old boy oh my god, what's old boy who fucking oh my god, he played for the Raiders for like 2 years and then was hurt for like 3 years under Gruden and
Khalif
Marriott.
Barnes.
Nah, I'm talking the fucking left guard. I can't think of it. Big swole motherfucker. God, I can't think of his name.
Osemele?
Not Osemele. After Osemele. For Gruden.
After Osemele.
Remember he
Simpson?
No, he was drafted. He was drafted by the Rams. He played for the Rams. Then he played for the Dolphins. Then he got into a bunch of trouble with Kevin Martin from Stanford for bullying him.
Richie
Incognito. God damn it. See, my old age is fucking kicking in.
Oh.
Yeah. Richie Incognito came in as a center, and I think he migrated to guard. And there's a lot of similarities to that game. I mean, they're both nasty. They both love to fucking blow a motherfucker up. They both get happy with a pancake. You know? I mean, some people play offensive line, but I'm sorry, dude. JPJ just likes blowing the motherfucker up, bro. He goes out, he runs back just to get some contact, bro. You know what I mean? Like, God damn, dude. God bless his heart. I love him so much. I mean, but he loves this shit. You mean? This makes him feel good inside, you know? What's up,
Everybody's
Q?
not a nice guy.
No, he's not. And I love that. You know what I mean?
Everybody's not a nice guy. And that's okay.
You know, he reminds me of Stevie Wisniewski. He's here to kick ass and chew bubble gum. You know what I mean?
He's all out of bubble gum.
He never brought no bubble gum. You know what I'm saying?
Right?
You know what I mean? Hey, but JPJ is that dude. You know what I mean? Let's be honest. Kelechi Osemele was that type of dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Fuck it. Hey, because fuck. What was that Denver game? They ran the same play like
27 times in a row or 19
ridiculous.
times in a row.
Right. It was ridiculous amount of times in a row. Guess what?
And it worked every single time. That's what was even crazier about it.
Whoa, and they just changed right to left, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like bring it. You know what I mean? Like
Other side, like line, you know what I'm saying? Just line it up. We ain't even got a huddle. Line it up.
Right.
Run it again.
And for all the bad things you can say about John Gruden, I always say this. One thing you knew about John Gruden was that his teams were going to be physical. They were going to line up in I formation, power I, weak guy. You were going to know where the whole fucking play is going to go, but they were going to bring it to you, and they were going to come, and they're going to fucking out physical you. They're going to come and punch you in the mouth all the time. That's the one thing I did always appreciate about John Gruden You know,
And if
like
you said, yeah, and if you can't stop it, you're gonna keep getting punched in the mouth, and he's not letting up.
yeah. except for if you got the lead by the quarterback, bro, you gonna let up.
Hmm.
Like, seriously. how many times? How many times did we see John Gruden? Bro, why are you running the ball? What the fuck is going on?
So did you see his quarterback? He said, "God help us."
Right? He gonna turn it over sooner than later. Hey, Q, we know you definitely ain't nice. We know that, sir. Shout out to you. That's right. But nah, man. I don't know. These are fun times to be here and to be a Raider fan. You know, things are about to change drastically for this team. This team's going to be like, I'm not going to shit on picking up Ashton Genty because I realize you pick up Ashton Genty, dude's a workhorse.
If nothing else,
You know, he's going to carry a lot, carry the ball a lot. Also, too, it's kind of it's a catch 22 though. I mean, the guy needs the ball 20 times a game. Where does that lead?
20 plus.
Okay, so where does that lead our Hall of Fame trending tight end? Because he's gonna need that rock also. And do you pay somebody $37 million, you know, to hand off the ball over and over and over again?
Not on this team.
So yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I think the Raiders could use an X. I would like to see it early in the draft. Um, and I don't need like Antonio Brown X, or I need more of a Andre Holmes X. You mean someone who can, you know, be there for 50-50 balls, or Streeter X. You mean so somebody like that, somebody who can come in, play well, and complement the team. I I, I think you can go around Brock Bowers being your number one, and it's going to be a lot of, you're going to have to fucking put some speed on the outside. You have to get a lot of speed on the outside.
Not a lot of speed, but definitely more.
Hey,
You can get as much speed as you can get. You can't have too much.
no, you really
But you also got to have guys who are capable of doing the dirty work. You got to have you some big bodies out there.
right. Okay, so I mean, we got Jacoby Myers, and one thing you can
He'll
count him.
do some. He'll do some dirty work too. But you need a guy who's a better blend of speed, size, and skill.
Who is that guy in the draft that you think might be that guy?
There's a couple. So as I go back and once again circle back to tying up your first round draft pick and a guy who's not going to get you ideally don't want to give any playing time to,
Mm-hmm.
you the answer to that question would have been T Mac, would have been my first choice. Jaden Higgins would be my second. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for somebody with the physical composition of Nico Collins or as close to DK as you can get for
Mm-hmm.
Gino and potentially Shador moving forward. Because Shador has been around quality wide receivers his entire life. And if you don't give him one, then once again, you're doing that Raider shit of setting a dude up to fail.
Square pegs and round holes.
Nothing like it, I'm telling you. If you just ram it in there hard enough, it'll fit.
Right?
Fuck.
Hey, all right. What about what's his name? McMillan?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, not McMillan. No,
Tetaroa McMillan.
no, I'm no, not that. I'm talking about who the fuck is it? See, dude, I'm sorry. Just turned 48, bro. You know, my mind's playing tricks on me. Um, I'm looking the receiver from Ole Miss.
There's a couple.
Uh,
You
they're
talking
number
about
one.
Juice or Trey Amos?
Oh gosh, let me make sure I got
And
that shit.
Trey Amos is the corner.
No, I'm talking about the receiver.
It's not Antoine Wells, but the other. No, it is Trey Amos.
Okay, yeah, Trey Harris.
Trey Harris, excuse me.
Yeah, Trey Harris. Yeah, I mean that's a guy you can get in the second round, and uh, that's honestly he's one of the better receivers in the SEC last year. He really was. And when he got hurt, you seen Ole Miss kind of just fade away after that. You even see their quarterback fade away a little bit, even because yeah, he had some really good games, but there's times before those bad games where he just throw it up to his receiver, trusting in his receiver. They're
Jesus, take the wheel.
right. I mean, but let's be honest. I mean, we seen Brett Favre make a fucking Hall of Fame career with that shit. Jesus, take the wheel. It wasn't pinpoint accuracy. He was like, like this. No look.
Hey,
Magic
if you throw it, they will catch it.
right?
Don't even trip.
You
You,
mean?
you don't complete 100% of the passes you don't throw.
Right? I mean, but also too, I mean, we seen like Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, right? They had so much symmetry. They knew what each other were thinking. They knew where to
Well, I've heard that
be.
so many times. When people start saying that shit,
Okay.
I'm good.
In Green Bay, that's how they were. in New York, bro, I'm sorry, bro. I don't know, maybe too much chopped cheese. Something happened. You know what I mean? Something happened. Who knows? But it is what it is. Shit.
I
But
get it.
I would like to see something like that. Let me ask you a question. If at 6 you have Ashton Genty and you have let's say Ted on the board, right? T Mac is on the board, and the Raiders draft Jackson Dart. What's your first reaction gonna be? I just want to know.
I'd be fine with it. The quarterback position needs to be addressed, and if you can do it in one round and get it done, then go. You got to step up, and you believe that that's going to be your guy. Then make it happen.
Right.
Can Jackson Dart do it? Physically, he's capable. I have an issue with the clutch factor because
Mm-hmm.
I have yet to see it be displayed properly.
Mm-hmm.
But aside from that, there's really nothing that he can't do.
Right. Hey, honestly, I would just like to see if fucking they got the balls to do some shit like that. Let's keep that a buck. Because I'm not sure they do. You mean?
I'm not either.
You mean like other than Tom Brady calling in and say no, you're picking Jackson Dart right now? Honestly, I kind of see them drafting offensive lineman or defensive lineman.
I don't particularly want to see it, but I could understand it. And if you could get a guy like Mimbood,
Mm-hmm.
I could support it.
Right.
It wouldn't be what I would be looking to. It's not sexy, but that goes
It's
a long
safe.
way to securing your future.
It's safe though, right? Let's be honest. It's really safe.
As long as he's good. But as long as he's good.
I mean,
Now
as
I
a
will
player,
say
he's
I
a
will
good
say
part.
if of all the places that you could say that Pete has struggled at, his offensive lines that he put together have not been the best.
Nope. No, they haven't. But then if you look at the cats out there in Tampa Bay, I mean, they've actually put together a really nice fucking offensive line. A really nice offensive line. And a really nice defensive line. I mean, that's one thing that they've been doing over there in Tampa is they've been building the trenches.
Right.
And that honestly, like for all the glitz and glamour positions and everything else, dude, you give me a dominant defensive line or you give me a dominant offensive line, I'm happy. I'm happy.
Winning football games is what
Yeah.
I'm doing.
Yes. Because the last time we had a dominant offensive line, you couldn't stop it. 19
No.
times in a row, dog. That's how much you couldn't stop it. You
And
know,
that's how it should be and when you that's how it should be when they can't stop it. Keep running.
right?
But yeah, so it really boils down to who's available, what's available. You want to go run it, you want to go line. Like I said, I could see it. I would prefer you didn't, but there are a couple guys that if you went and got, I'd be okay with. I'd be like, you chose that guy. Okay, you did it with good reason. I mean, that's part of Detroit's whole rise to fame was that their offensive line was so much better than everybody else's defense.
Right.
Like they were just killing it.
Right. You know, they love to come out and smash you. You mean like and I mean that's something I wouldn't mind. I mean that's something you can have a quarterback who's not the best, right?
Mhm.
And come out and like honestly, I don't think Jared Goff is a world beater, but I think the offensive line he has, the receivers he has, the team that's built around him complements him, and he complements the team. Like this team's going to be in the playoffs year in year out. It is what it is, you know. Will they win it all? We don't know.
No, I feel you on that. If once they get it right, but then with a quarterback situation, you get your quarterback now. You get a guy like Stewart that and you train him. You let him develop so that when he's ready, he's ready. Uh, and you could be in position to do great things as long provided you put the proper weaponry around him.
Right, but also too. I mean, you can pick up guys in the second round, like, you know, receivers and stuff like that. You mean there's a lot of really good second round receivers in the NFL today. You know, not all of them are first rounders, and guess what, dude? A lot of first round receivers just, bro, what happened? You know, I'm not gonna lie, Derek Carr has put some of them down, but you know, you mean, them shake their
I'm not. I'm
confidence.
not going to give him a total pass, but here's the thing about that is you when these guys are drafted high, they're expected to turn around a bad franchise. And
Right,
that franchise doesn't always have the pieces in place for those players to be successful and never do, and that's the reason why they remain bad franchises.
right,
And so we can label these guys bums, we can label these guys busts, but typically what happens is they'll leave one team, go to another that's in a better situation and begin to enjoy success because they're not looked to be the savior.
right. But that's also why you see guys go to like Philly or Kansas City, right? And that's exactly what's happening. You mean it's yeah, yeah. I agree so much. But hey, look, Mama's already came in. We're already 45 minutes in. I'm gonna cut this short. I'm gonna say what I always say. Love the people who love you. Robinson, my boy. Uh, I hit you up after this.
All right.
All right. Hey, peace out. Get my boy on here.
Thank you, Mo. You've done the Lord's work. Jones, you done pouting? You want to come out and say goodbye, or are we just gonna roll through this?
Y'all kiss my black ass.
Bro, it doesn't get better than that, bro. Peace out. Love you guys.